Well, hi everybody, and thank you for joining this webinar on looking after your mental health. I hope you've had a chance to revisit maybe some of the other webinars we've done, and there's some great topics on there to relook at, so please do that. But for a short time today, I want to talk about planning a well week. And this is a topic that's really close to my heart because I talk a lot to different organizations, business leaders, schools, individuals as well, around the importance of planning a good week, but the importance also of planning a week that makes you feel well. Okay, so I just want to share some thoughts around that on this webinar today, and share probably 4 or 5 tips with you around planning a well week. And the importance of it is this, because if we plan a well week, if we plan a week that focuses on our well-being and our mental health, along with doing work, then we're going to feel less stressed. We're going to feel less anxious. We're going to feel more in control of things than we would otherwise. And as somebody who suffers with chronic anxiety, planning is really important to manage my anxiety, because when I don't plan, when I don't look at things, I tend to feel more anxious. Things are a little bit more out of control, aren't they? What's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. People write to-do lists. People do different things. And all that type of stuff is really important because it helps us to focus. It helps us to understand what's going on. So look, I'm going to share 4 or 5 tips with you today around planning a well week. And the first one is this. One of the things that I do, and I talk to a lot of students, a lot of schools and businesses, is about looking ahead. So planning ahead. So I'm always thinking about next week, yeah, because we're in this week, and we can do things about this week, and that's okay. But let's think about next week. Look at your timetable, your planning, your diary for next week, and look at it and think, how well is it? Am I really busy? Am I too busy? Have I agreed to do too much? If you're a bit like me, I'm a yes person, so I say yes to things, and then, oh, how am I going to do all that? Yeah. So think about your week next week, and think about it and think, well, do I have things in there that make me feel well? Do I have moments in the day where I've planned my well-being really well? And looking ahead means that on a Sunday night, for example, if a lot of us will feel a bit anxious Sunday night, thinking, what's this week going to bring? Oh, it's a new week. By planning ahead, we take away that anxiety a lot because we know what's going on. We've already planned. We've already looked at the week. We already make some changes. Because if you've got a really busy day, for example, next week, and you think, oh, how did that happen? There's too much in there. Maybe I promised to do things in school, after school. I'm going to revise 6 subjects and I can't do that. You can start to make some changes before you get there. You can think, well, I'm going to move that to there and move all this around a little bit. So planning ahead is really important. So we don't just allow the week to happen. We don't just allow the week to come and think, oh, now is bad. We think ahead. And linked to that, the second point is, if you look at next week and look at the days of next week, and if you color code them, if you give them a color, either red, amber, or green. A red day means that it's really busy, stressful, anxious, lots on, too much on. Yeah. So a red day, my diary means I've overcommitted. I've said I'm going to do too much. I plan to do too much, and there's no way that I can do all that. So that's a red day. An amber day is busy. An amber day, there's a lot going on, but not as much as red. And a green day means that it's an okay day. Yeah, it's manageable. I can do things. This is quite a nice day, maybe. It's manageable. There's nice things on and everything else. And when you've done that, what I'd like you to do then is think, okay, on a red day, what can I do to make a red day into an amber day? What can I take out of that red day? What can I move maybe to a green day when I've got more time? What can we move to the following week maybe? What do I need to say no to, or I've overcommitted? And then we start to move things around. So over the course of the week, things pan out a little bit. So we don't hopefully have any red days, but we might. We have more amber days and more green days, so it's a bit more manageable. So if you look at next week, yeah, then that's a great opportunity to be able to do something ahead of time. As well as that, what's really then important is that if I have a red day, and sometimes there are, sometimes we can't do anything about it. If I have a red day, then what I need to do is to make sure that at some point during the course of that day, I have things in my diary that allow me to keep myself well. Things that I can that I have time for a break, that I have time to maybe go to bed early that night because it's been a really tiring day. Maybe that I eat some healthy food because that makes me feel better. Drink plenty of water. Maybe that I can maybe go for a walk. Whatever helps, because on that red day it's going to be a stressful day, and when we're stressed, when we're anxious, when we're busy, we need more well-being, not less. And I think we covered that in the previous webinar. When we're busy, when things are on top of us, when there's lots of revision to do, when there's exams and all that type of stuff, we don't forget about our well-being. In fact, we need more of it. Okay, so think about the week ahead. Think about color coding the day, which are the good days, which are the more busy days, which are the days potentially that you're going to be more stressed, which are the days that you probably days maybe in school where you have the lessons you're least keen on, where you get a bit more worked up. As I used to do about maths in school. I hated maths. So I'd get, oh, that was a bad day. And think, well, okay, what do I do then after school to help to relax and help me feel better? And then, there's an old saying some of you might have heard about all work and no play. Okay, and it's really important to put play into a day. And by play, I mean doing things that make us feel good. Okay, so when you look at planning your week, when you look at your timetable, it's really important to put things in there that you feel that help your mental health. And very often, I get people telling me, well, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that, and I should be doing this, and I've read this on Instagram, and I've seen this on TikTok, that I should be doing X, Y, Z, and all this type of stuff. And there's lots of things that are really good for us, isn't there? Yeah. But the main thing for me is that you do things that are good for you, because if we follow other people, we might do things and we don't enjoy them, so we're not going to do them. Or we think we should be doing things and we don't, and that's going to make us feel even worse. So it's your well-being. So I want you to focus on things that make you feel happy, as long as they're good things, right? I want you to focus on the things that make you happy, things that make you feel good. For example, I got a friend who likes going for a run after work. I couldn't think of anything worse. That I enjoy maybe just sitting down and looking at a Netflix documentary or reading a book. I can just sort of switch off. I like cooking, I like eating the food as well. And just think about the things that make you feel well and focus on them. Because if you enjoy doing that, you're going to feel so much better. You might want to listen to your favorite type of music. Listen to music that you don't like doesn't work, does it? Right? So listen to your favorite music, have a bath, whatever it is, right? Do some exercise, whatever you feel that makes the most benefit for you. But what's important is that you factor that in, if not every day, certainly 2 or 3 times a week into your planning, especially when things get busy. So coming up to exam time, coming up to revision time, okay, we did a webinar, if you want to look back, talking about the Pomodoro technique, about working 40 minutes or working 45 minutes, then taking a 10-minute break. Really important, okay, because the brain gets tired. And the fourth part of planning a good week is to look after this. The fourth part of planning a good week is to look after your brain. The poor brain, when you think about it, we really work it hard, don't we? From the moment we wake our eyes in the morning to the moment we go to sleep at night, we probably have about at least 70,000 thoughts a day, 70,000 things going in and out and we're thinking about and all these different things. Yeah. And the brain gets tired. And the brain needs a break. The brain needs a rest. Sometimes we get rest when we sleep. but you also need some rest time during the course of your working day. Just some time to go, oh, and factoring in some time just to give the brain a break. That means maybe not going on our phones, maybe not just looking at television, but just taking some minutes of peace and quiet, maybe going for a walk, maybe just doing something that gives the brain just a chance to catch up. Because all that stuff that's going through our brains all the time. Yeah. And certainly when we revise, we need those breaks. Certainly when we revise for exams, when we're doing our homework, try giving yourself some time to work and work really hard and then have a little break. Work really hard and have a little break. Give that a go. It helps to reduce stress. It helps the brain to relax, helps the brain to calm down, and then you can move on. And the importance of planning your week. Like I said right at the beginning, the importance of planning a good week can really help your mental health when it comes to exam time, really help your mental health when it comes to revision time, really help when you've got lots of homework to do or lots of things on in life. Planning your week can really help. It sets boundaries, yeah? It sets the boundaries that we're going to work towards. It sets the fact that actually I know what's going on. And also when we look ahead a week, we can make changes. We just don't let that week come over us and think, oh God, yeah, right? We stop and we replan and we reset and we revisit and rechange things, and that's great and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes when we say yes to things, we say yes to so many things, and then it all comes together and we think, oh, yeah. And then that's where stress and anxiety and all those type of things happen. So plan your week. Plan your week to be well. Plan for you to be well, and you work even harder, probably. You'll do more things. Because when we feel well, we have more energy to do things. But when we overdo things, then we tend to burn out a little bit and we get really tired and then we can't concentrate. So hopefully there's a few things in there to think about. Hopefully there's a few things in there to think about planning a well week for yourselves. Think ahead. Red, amber, green. Plan for a good week. Do things that help you and plan into your week things that help you feel well, make you happy, and reduce stress as well. So you know that I'm not a big believer in long videos because short and sharp, and we have a break and we move on, and hopefully some of that sinks in and re-listen to it if you need to. So thank you for listening. I wish you a very well week. Look after yourselves, take those breaks, and take time for you as well. Everything else is important, but so are you. So diolch yn fawr, thank you, and I'll speak to you very soon.